One of the most common interview questions that you're likely going to face is, tell me a little bit about yourself. Go out on the internet and type in most common interview questions. You're going to get a lot of links back. You're going to get links that say top 10 interview questions, top 20 interview questions, top 50 interview questions. And whenever you click on these links, usually number one is tell me about yourself. This is how interviews start off. It can be asked in a little bit different ways. Like, for example, hey, Bill, so thank you for coming by. I have your resume right here, but tell me a little bit about yourself. This is the way that interviews start. And for a lot of individuals, they struggle with this question. They don't know exactly what they should be saying, how much they should be saying, how long they should be talking. They're afraid that they're going to, over talk on something like this. And so in today's video, I want to actually give you a template that you can use to answer this question. And that template has 4 elements. Who are you in the present sense with a value-added statement? Industries and environments that you've worked in. What are your skills? What are your strengths? And what makes you unique? Those 4 elements. So let's dig into each one of these elements a little bit deeper. The first element, who are you in the present sense with a value-added statement? What is it that you're going after? So not who you've been, but what is it that you're going after? So let me give you an example of what I mean by this. For some time I was working with a computer boot camp school. Well, actually it was a technology boot camp school, where it was like very intense, 6 months of teaching nothing but software programming. And these individuals were making major career shifts. We had police officers in there, program managers, elementary teachers. We even had a chiropractor. They were changing their careers. And so they weren't a chiropractor when it came to interviewing. They were a software programmer. This is what I mean by who are you in the current sense. My background was in technology, but today I am a career coach. That is who I am in the current sense. Now, what do I mean by value-added statement? What is it that really draws you to this industry that you've been, targeting? Whether maybe it's medical devices, and maybe what draws you there is just the sense of helping individuals better themselves, better their lives, make themselves more comfortable, making an improvement in the lives of others. High tech, it could be, just that passion of leading edge technology. So who are you in the present sense with a value-added statement? The second is industries and environments. Most of us have both. Recent college graduates may not have industry experience, but pretty much everybody has environment experience. And again, most people, especially those who are watching this, because I primarily work with individuals in mid to late career, they're going to have both environment and industry. Now, when we're talking industry, I'm not talking companies. I'm talking at a higher level. So think about it as in public, private, government, finance, banking, commercial real estate, healthcare. These are industries, not your typical Kaiser Hospital or Sutter Memorial Hospital. We're talking industry level. The third element is, what are your skills? What are your strengths? And when I'm working one-on-one with my clients, I like to try to encourage them to think about who is it that's been able to validate these strengths. Maybe they can refer to a LinkedIn recommendation or a past performance review. Well, I've been told by my manager in several performance reviews that I have strong organizational skills, as an example. You can also use assessments. I'm one who, when I've worked with clients in the past, I've gone out and bought them the Strength Finders assessment that identifies their top strengths. And you can sit there and say, well, according to the Strength Finders assessment, this is what I have. And then the fourth and final element is what makes you unique. This is, everybody has something that might be unique to them that really kind of narrows the gap down. And in a lot of cases, this could actually be something that brings a little bit more of that personality side to you? You know, I remember I had one woman who, this was her answer to it, and I loved it. She said, you know, and finally, I like the game of golf. I love golf. In fact, I even have 2 hole-in-ones. That's kind of cool. I mean, I don't even know a single person that has a hole-in-one, and she had 2. So let me give you an example of how this actually flows out. I'm gonna give you my example here. It's the best one that I can think of, and that would be how I would answer. Let's say, for example, I mean, I have my own business here, but if I wanted to go and work at, say, a university's career center, which I would definitely be qualified for, go in there, sit down, they say, Bill, thanks for coming in. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Here's how I would answer this question. Well, as you can see from my resume, I'm a certified professional career coach. I primarily work right now with individuals in mid to late career. I'd like to see I help them find jobs that fuel their passion rather than zapping it. Element 1. I've worked in private, public, and government industries. Most recently, before my coaching practice, I was a vice president in information services, where I managed a remote team of 12 across the US and Canada. There's the environment, remote work, and the industries, public, private, government. According to the Gallup Strength Finder, my number 1 strength is connectivity, and I think that's spot on. I'm definitely a people person. So there's my skills, my strengths, and I validated that. And finally, and I think this can really help me with this position here, is that for the last year and a half I've been uploading videos to YouTube, career-related videos on resumes and LinkedIn and interviewing. And I have now over 150 videos, about 14,000 watch hours, and about 1,000 subscribers. There's your 4th element. So, review. Who you are in the present sense with a value-added statement, industries and environments that you've worked in, what are your skills, what are your strengths, what is it that you're going to bring to the table, and number 4, what makes you unique. That's your template that I want you to work with, and I want you to map this out, write it out, practice reading it until it just flows naturally like the way I just said it, because that way when you go into the interview, you're feeling confident, you're looking confident, and you're making a great impression. So I hope you found this video informative and useful, and if you haven't already done so, make sure to subscribe to this channel, hit that bell notification, as I do upload new career tips and strategies every Tuesday, and I'd hate for you to miss anything.